Hello guys, welcome again. So let's talk about Bitcoin. So this live stream actually is gonna be short because, I think Bitcoin right now is testing the support actually around $79,000. Let me explain to you what actually was the projection before, right? A few days ago, we got here a sell signal here last week here, and Bitcoin tested one more time the MA55 in 1 day chart, as you can see here, and also in my case, right, what I was waiting here is a test to $81,000 around here. And I opened a long position here. I got to stop it here. It was weekend, right? But still, Bitcoin is holding this area. I mean, the second area of support is this one here. Is not very strong, but actually, as long as Bitcoin is above here, it's not making a new low. It's still in the range. Okay. So right now here in 12-hour chart, as you can see here, we have a bullish divergence forming, yeah, from this point, and this point. So we had to wait a little bit more, but if we see a bullish divergence in 12-hour chart, actually maybe this week we could see a bounce, something like this, looking for maybe 84 again, 84K around here. And this bounce is gonna tell us actually if Bitcoin is how can I say this? Like if we see a reaction here, yeah, we can expect lower prices. But I know you are super bearish. You want to see the market crash, right? Because the market actually is crashing. But right now, Bitcoin is around the MA55, and you know what I'm going to say here, right? I cannot be super bearish looking for a major crash if Bitcoin actually is actually here, just almost few thousand, like $3,000 above the MA55 here. So Bitcoin is testing major support right now here. So that's why I am looking for a bounce. I know it sounds crazy for you, right? Maybe you are thinking, oh, the market is gonna crash, right? Because Donald Trump, whatever. I don't care. Seriously, I just follow probabilities and technical analysis, right? So right now here, Bitcoin is testing here. It's about to test MA55 maybe this week. But as long as Bitcoin is holding this area, I am looking for a bounce. Of course, it's weekly chart, right? So we have to wait a little bit more, but I am getting ready for a bounce. And now let me show you 1 day chart here. 1 day chart, this week we will see a potential buy signal here, right? I am not saying from here is gonna bounce. Of course not. Of course not. Actually, I want to see Bitcoin testing around 75, 76, but let me be clear, no shorts. I am not shorting Bitcoin. I don't want to short Bitcoin. I'm looking for longs. Yeah. I know the stock market is looking bad. I know everything is crashing right now. Everything is going to zero, right? It's the opposite what I said to you last in December, right? All the people were looking for a new all-time high, right? To the moon here, right? The SP500, Nvidia, Bitcoin will go everything to the moon, right? And what I said to you in November, December, the market is about to crash. And now we have this crash, perfect. And now here, the media is telling you, everything is gonna crash, right? Everything, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, well, I am telling you now the opposite. I am looking for a bounce. I am not saying it's gonna be continuation. Don't get me wrong. This is just gonna be a bounce, right? It's gonna be a bounce. But after this bounce, when finally, again, all people are so bullish again and very optimistic, you will see a major correction looking for actually new lows. Okay, so remember in weekly chart, right, I shared with you long time ago, not now, right, this technical analysis, right? We have way number 1, 2, way number 3, way number 4, and way number 5 here. And well, this is since 2022. As you can see, Bitcoin has been in uptrend, very strong uptrend. But now, very obvious, right? We have the 5 waves, right now. So let's talk about now the correction. The correction is way number A, right? Way number B, and way number C, right? Way number C, where the way number C is actually very strong. So that's why, in my humble opinion, right, we are here. Actually, we are about to start the way number B, where we could see a bounce here, and this bounce is gonna be a fail rally. Okay, actually I'm looking for a bounce. I'm looking for about, I am not shorting Bitcoin. I don't want to short Bitcoin. I know, sounds crazy, right? But I will not short Bitcoin. The last short for Bitcoin was around $88,000 here. And actually I was sleeping. I missed the trade. It's fine, right? Now here, I am looking for longs. I know, yeah, potentially I can get stopped. Yes, and Bitcoin crash a little bit more, around 74, 75, yeah. But I will continue actually looking for longs. I am not shorting and I will not short, okay? Now let's continue with the 5-day chart. The 5-day chart actually is very interesting here. As you can see here, Bitcoin in 5-day chart here is actually below the MA55, but it's not broken yet. Okay, so what we have to see, you want to see, you are super bearish right now, and you want to see reversals, very strong reversal. We want to see something like this, right? Something like this, very strong, right? Very powerful candle, all the way down to $66,000 around there. Let me change the color here. Yeah, something like this week. But honestly, I don't think so. Honestly, I don't think that is gonna happen. I think right now, because Bitcoin is still holding the range here, I am looking for this bounce, and also the timing. Timing is actually very important. Let me show you here in weekly chart. Bitcoin actually here is in the median. The median probability here is around 80% of probabilities. Like potentially here, we could see a potential, right? Maybe this month, a buy signal, right? As long as Bitcoin is holding the MA55, right? Here, as long as Bitcoin is holding the MA55, I am still looking for a bounce, okay? Remember what I said to you, like if you want to see reversals, you want to see something like this, right? You want to see a very strong, very, very strong crash, right? From the MA55. Let me show you here. From here, as you can see here, Bitcoin crash around 20%, 25%. So if we want to see a major reversal, we need to see Bitcoin crashing from the MA55 around maybe 20%, something like this, like around 60K. Yes, 60K, 65K, around there. So the thing here is like, please be careful here, because I know, right? Maybe your emotions, social media, sorry, and people on X, right, is telling you, oh, everything is gonna crash, right? Oh my God, yes, yes, I agree with them, but I said a long time ago, not now. Now is actually now we will see the opposite, at least for a few months. I am expecting at least sideways, and after that a bounce. Of course, it's not ready. The market is not ready, but I actually looking for this move in the short term. Let me show you in the short term right now. We have here a 1-hour chart bounce here as a buy signal. Looking for, usually when I see this kind of crashes here, usually the MA55 is as resistance, right? So I'm looking for this bounce here in short term around $81,000. But if we see this bounce here, I am looking for, actually, I'm gonna start looking for a buy signal in 4-hour chart. So what I'm doing right now here, of course, I am not financial advisor. It's up to you, right? It's up to you. I am telling you what I'm doing right now after of doing this more than 10 years, right? Yeah, I'm getting old, I know, but it's fine. The point here is like here, I am in long position. My long position at $79,000, exactly 79. I couldn't catch around 77, 78 is fine. But this is actually the setup I am watching right now. Something like this, around here, around 3%, something like this. A new low. I don't want to use. I want to be careful with this. I'm looking for actually the 4-hour chart, looking for around 83, 84K, as long as Bitcoin is respecting this area. Okay. So right now here in 1-hour chart, we have a potential buy signal forming here. Usually is a test to the previous resistance around $81,500 around here. So I'm expecting to see Bitcoin maybe in the following days testing this area, looking for a potential, well, let's see if it's a continuation. Honestly, for me, I think Bitcoin actually is going to keep pumping here. I'm looking for a bounce, and also I am getting ready for this bullish divergence in 12-hour chart. You see, we have actually it's very obvious here. So let's see if I'm right. Also, volume is actually we have a bullish divergence here in volume as well. So that's why I cannot be super bearish right now. Actually, I'm looking for, first of all, I'm looking for a bounce, and after that maybe continuation. Now let's talk about the monthly here. The monthly for Bitcoin is not good. Yeah. This is not new, right? It's something we were talking before, right? Long time ago, right? We have a sell signal in the monthly chart. So at least 2026, 2025, 2026 is going to be bad for Bitcoin and all the markets. I mean, everything is going to crash. And well, as an investor, you should be very happy, right? We should be very happy because this is a major, major opportunity. Every 4 or 5 years, we have this opportunity. So that's why, in my case, what I'm going to do here, let me repeat myself because I know many of you, maybe you want to buy here. It depends, right? If you're a trader, well, you can go long and you can maybe take some profits, right, in the process. But if you're an investor, right, the time to buy Bitcoin and the stock market is coming maybe in following months, but not now. Actually, we are actually I mean, Bitcoin, for example, in the case of Bitcoin, in average, Bitcoin is crashing around 70% every time we have a sell signal in the monthly, right? We have a sell signal here, we have a sell signal here, and also we have a sell signal here. The average crash is around 70-75%. So I need to say this again. The next time I'm going to buy Bitcoin, right? In the long term, I want to hold Bitcoin for 1 year or 2 years is after I see a crash of 70-75%. So from the highs here at 110, 70% is around 30K. So we just started. So that's why be careful here as investor is, at least in my humble opinion, right? In my opinion, is not the right time. Same for Nvidia, same for Tesla, all of them now people they are just buying the hype because AI, right? But well, actually right now it's too late. I think all the market is gonna just crash, and finally when we see everyone so negative, right, in the market, is actually the right time to buy. But it's coming. We are not there yet, but we will see actually that moment maybe in 2026. Now let's talk about the biweekly chart for Bitcoin. Biweekly chart for Bitcoin, we have a better divergence, as you can see here. It's very obvious here. Looking for around 63K, 64K, maybe in the following months. Yes, we are here around. This is my target, and this is going to be the strongest area for Bitcoin in the long term. If Bitcoin breaks 65K, the next target is 30K. There is no, well, 50K, but I actually 30K is going to be the area in the long term. Okay, now let's continue with the bi-monthly. And something very concerning for me is we have a bi-monthly bearish divergence as well. So as you can see here, we have a sell signal in weekly chart, bi-weekly bearish divergence, monthly sell signal, and bi-monthly, bearish divergence. So what is this telling me? Well, in the long term, 2026 is gonna be maybe the year to actually buy not just stock, not just Bitcoin, actually the stock market and a lot of things. So that's why wait for it, right? Don't rush. In my case, I am just waiting, because I am looking for this opportunity. Like every 4 years around there, we have, especially for Bitcoin as well. Okay, now let's continue with some altcoins. So let me show you here. We have Ethereum. As you can see here, actually hit the target. My target around 1,500. Yeah, around there. Looking for 1,000 in the long term. Looking for 1,000. Still looking for that that area. Let me show you here. Yep, looking for 1,000 in the long term. If Ethereum breaks 1,000, well, it's gonna be actually very nasty. So let me show you Solana. Solana finally hit $100. Actually, that's my target. I'm looking for actually 87, 90. From there, potentially we could see a bounce. Now let me see Cardano. Cardano actually in the weekly chart is about to break the MI55, looking for actually 0.45 cents in the long term. Links, let me show you, looking for $6-7 in the long term. XRP finally is getting ready to break the $2. Actually technically is below there. Looking for 1.50, that is the target. Actually, I'm gonna start looking for in the long term. Looking for 0.70. I mean, in the long term, I mean this year, all the year, right? Now let's continue with UC dominance. As you can see here, we have weekly chart. The momentum is still to the upside. So, I mean, Bitcoin will keep crashing. That's my point. But let me show you here in 1-day chart. In 1-day chart, we have a better divergence forming here. Of course, the trend is your friend, right? And it's actually very, very strong. It's to the upside here. But I think we will see a pullback very soon here for USD dominance. Let me show you here the monthly. Remember what I said to you long time ago, right? Not today, not 1 month ago. I told you this like 6 months ago. 6 months ago, and I said, I give a shit about news. I don't follow news. Seriously, I don't follow. Just I follow my system, And I told you 6 months ago, right? This is like this, right? There is not a direction following my system of trading. So Bitcoin will crash. I told you in December, November last year, right? And now it's happening right now, right? In the monthly, right? In the following year, it's still bad for Bitcoin, right? And also the stock market as well. So looking for in the long term from 8.20, 8.30 around here, looking for this level. And here, only here, maybe, if everything is correct, well, we will see Bitcoin around 50K, 40K, 30K, whatever, right? But it's very bullish here. This is consolidation, looking for actually even potential new all-time high here in the long term. Let's talk about the Bitcoin dominance. Let me show you Bitcoin dominance. I'll show you this chart 2 years ago. And I said, hey, 2 years ago, I told you, right, around here in 2022, actually, almost 3 years ago, I said, hey, usually when you see this kind of the buy signal here in the monthly, the target is around 70%. Right now, after 3 years, we are almost there. Almost there. So the alt season is coming, maybe potentially next year. Yes, we will have a very nice alt season, but I think Bitcoin dominance is super bullish right now. It's Bitcoin season, not altcoin season. So that's why be careful you are buying altcoins, because all of them will just crash. We just will keep crashing. Okay. Okay. Now let's continue with some comments. Please discuss bi-weekly chart. I did it. If you look at we touch the ME21, I don't use the ME21, my friend. I use only the ME55. The ME55 is the only one. I don't use the ME21 because, at least for Bitcoin, is very bad. Actually, the backtesting is not good. Yep. I can use it if you want, but well, let me check. Exponential moving average, ME21. ME21, right? You said, okay. Okay, so in 2021, we touched the ME21 a bit, and then touched the ME21. 2021. Okay, here. I think you should be more specific, like when, because I can understand your technical analysis here. Yep. But well, in general here, as you can see here, so is since 2023, actually the ME21 is acting as support here for a bi-weekly chart for Bitcoin, and now it's testing again here. I think we have to wait one more week. If we see actually the bi-weekly chart closing below the ME21, we can expect a major crash to 65. But I think we need to wait a little bit more, 1 week more, 1 week more. 1 week more, that's all, I think. 2020 here, the first bounce. If you look at 2021, without 2021, 2021 only. Okay, I understand here. Touch it here, bounce, and after that a crash. Yes, actually makes sense. Yeah, but we need to wait for 1 week. It's 1 week more. The next candle is closing next in April 14. So that's why a very good hint, like Bitcoin could crash even more to 65K from here, is if we have the close below the ME21, $81,500. If we see that close this week, yeah. But well, we just started the week, so that's why we need to wait a little bit more. In the short term, I am looking for a bounce, right? A bounce here, but you are right. I mean, if the technical analysis is correct, this bounce should be also another sell opportunity, and after that continuation all the way down to 65, okay? Now, let's continue with the stock market, because actually the stock market is very interesting here. What I'm going to show you is not new. It's something actually I shared with you a long time ago, right? This is not new. But right now, well, as you can see here, it's actually breaking the ME55. Officially, the stock market right now is, well, it's not bear market right now. I know some people said, no, we are not in the bear market, but well, yeah, if following my system of trading, we enter in the bear market where the target should be around 4,600 in the monthly here, around this area. And from here, actually, I'm going to start looking for a big bounce. Historically speaking, since 2010, every time when the stock market SP500 is testing this level, the MA55 here, MA55 is actually is the bottom. So right now we are in the middle. So looking for 4,600 here. And if we see this level tested, of course, I'm gonna start looking for a major bounce. In my case, right, what I did for Baba, right, Alibaba, I took profits from around 144, 140, 50% of my profits, and I took the rest here. Actually, yesterday I did it here. I closed my position. So I just remember I was in long position from 73, and I closed my position here 50%, and I closed all my position here. So right now, officially, I am out of the market. Okay. Now let's continue with more. The SP500, let me show you here. Yeah, here. As you can see here, this candle actually is very powerful, very strong, but it's not new, right? It's not new, right? It's something we were talking before. We have a better divergence in the monthly chart, as you can see. Let me show you here. We have this beautiful better divergence. So that is something we were expecting here. This is not new. Of course, all this year and next year is going to be actually bad for all the stock market and crypto. But as investors, you should be happy, right? Because we will have the opportunity to buy very cheap, right? So that's the point. That's why I insist to you, we must, as a traders, we have to control our emotions. We cannot be super emotional, right? Of course, if you apply this kind of principles in your life, actually you are going to improve your life as well, right? In general, I really believe, like, especially guys, we must control our emotions, especially right now. For example, right now with the economy, for example, the Japanese yen crashed in 2021. I saw it and I sold the Japanese yen because I was expecting that crash. But what I didn't expect is, like, actually it will crash so bad. Like, I was just expecting 20%, but it actually crashed around 50%, 45, 50%. It was terrible. But well, that's the point, right? We need to get ready for this kind of scenarios, right? Okay, so let me show you here the Nasdaq. Actually, the Nasdaq is very interesting here, same as the SP500. Is not new, right? We were expecting something like this, looking for 375. From around here, I am looking for actually a major bounce. Okay, a major bounce. That's why if you are looking for shorts right now, or you are thinking, well, everything is gonna crash, maybe you are correct, but this is not the right mindset right now. Actually, as a traders, we need to start looking for a potential bounce. We don't have the signals there yet, but let me show you here weekly chart. Let me see. Not yet, and we will need to wait maybe at least a couple of weeks. But the point here is, like, shorting here is terrible. Don't do that, please. Don't do that, okay? Don't do that. And around here, 370, 360, that is the area actually I will start looking for a potential bounce. Yeah. So this is, as I said before, this is not new. This is not new. And finally, Bitcoin, the market broke the MA55, and it's totally fine. It's totally fine, right? It's not new. Let's talk about gold. Gold actually is very bullish. Actually, I really like this chart. Remember what I said long time ago to you, right? If the gold breaks 2,000 in the following years, we will see around 3,000, even 3,500. Right now we are at 3,000. Very bullish right now here. But we will see a reversal very soon, maybe this year. As you can see here, curve is reaching the the level of the most probable reversal, where we have around 94% of probabilities to see a sell signal very soon in the following months, and of course a pullback, right? So that's why I think the market, at least in the short term, maybe a couple of weeks, I am looking for actually a bounce. Right now here, for example, Netflix was one of the best trades, right? Actually, in my career as a trader, one of the best trades I could execute here. Remember when we saw the crash in 2022, and I said to you, hey, this is going to be a lifetime opportunity to buy. And since then, actually, you see from here almost 400%. Actually, I'm so happy. I'm very happy because in my case, I bought here, right? And I closed my position, the first one here and the second one here. And here, well, I didn't trade because I don't do that here. But as you can see here in the monthly here, we have a sell signal looking for another test to maybe in the long term 550. 550 is the level in the long term, right? In the long term, When the chart right now here is testing support, where the momentum is still to the downside. So be careful here. You are looking for longs, at least for Netflix. I think it's not very good idea right now. Let's talk about Apple. Apple, as you can see here, is about to test the MA55 here. A little bit, 170. And from here, actually, I'm looking for a bounce. If we see this test here, right, this is support, looking for a bounce. And let's see if Apple could break the trend since 2003. Almost more than 20 years in uptrend. It's going to be interesting because historically speaking, every time when we see this monthly MA55 tested here, right, is a major buy opportunity for Apple. So it's coming again. The question is if this time it could be different. I don't know, man. I mean, the trend is my friend until the end, right? As long as the trend is to the upside, I don't care, right? I don't care. I will just buy here and I will open longs position here looking for a bounce. Let's talk about NVIDIA. NVIDIA and the hype, right? The hype, oh yeah, NVIDIA, right? AI. As you can see here, this is not new, right? This is something we were expecting as well. Sell signal in the monthly here, looking for actually a correction. If NVIDIA breaks $90, we could see another leg down to 64. And from there, a potential continuation to the upside because the trend is my friend, right? And the trend is to the upside. Now let's continue with Tesla. Tesla right now here is testing the support, is still there. Let me see, we will see maybe a leg down to 220. If we see this area broken, yeah, another leg down to 175. But for me, it's very hard to say, Tesla is gonna crash to zero. I don't think so. I think, I insist, we could see a bounce in the following months. At least, I mean, of course, we can see this crash, everything is gonna crash. But I'm looking for this bounce and after that continuation to the downside, right? Okay, now let's continue with Amazon. Same thing, all the market is doing the same thing. It's about to test the MA55 as well in the monthly. So be careful here. You are just super bearish and you want to everything crash because we could see actually a bounce. But don't get me wrong, this bounce is gonna be a sell opportunity, of course. Nike actually tested the last target I have here for Nike around $55. If Nike breaks this level, well, it's gonna be the hell because finally I can tell you like in the monthly is getting ready for reversal. Actually, this is now looking for more reversal. And if we see that crash, well, the next target is gonna be around 20, 25 around there. It's gonna be very bad. That's why we have to wait. Meta, let me show you here. We have Meta, well, before Facebook. We have a sell signal here, better divergence. Let me see. Looking for 440. 440. Let me see weekly chart. Weekly chart here, breaking the MA55. Yep, 440, 450. That is the area around here, and potentially from here we could see a bounce. Where usually this bounce is going to be a test to the MA55, right? MA55, and after that continuation to the downside. If of course the bear market is here, right? Okay, now let's continue with more coins. Let me see Bitcoin right now. Bitcoin is moving again. Let me show you here. We saw this bounce, a small bounce here, and right now Bitcoin is actually defending this area around $79,000, as you can see here. But as I said before, in my case, I opened a long position, not financial advice, right? Just I did it here, right? And a 79 here, actually exactly here, yeah, because this is the last area of support. I don't short supports. I don't open longs in resistance. So that's why. If you want to improve your performance as a trader, please don't short here. Yeah, here is for longs, right? And if you want to short, you need to wait for a bounce. And after you see the bounce, when resistance is tested, you can open shorts. Yeah, but people tend to do the opposite thing, right? Because the news is telling you everything is gonna crash, right? Yeah, sure. Okay, now I think that's all, guys. That's all for today. I think so. Yeah. Yeah, I think so. And I'm gonna see you in the chats, right? Please, if you have any comments, any suggestions, just let me know. Okay, and well, have a good day. See you tomorrow.